Yes, sir. We are able to hear your voice.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yes, before starting this today's concepts, let's try to recollect it what we were understanding yesterday, and then we continue. Yeah, yesterday which were focusing about variables. Yeah, so within the shell script, how do we define the variable and how do we read the value of the variables, and as well as how do we prompt it to the user to enter the values of the variables, or how do we use it, the arguments. Yes, so whenever we are invoking the script, how do we pass the arguments to the script, and passed arguments, how do we read it within the script? Yeah, there are the different use cases to assign these values to the variables. That's we're trying to understand it. Yeah, the first one is variable directly initializing within the script. Our second approaches is reading from the user the variable value and assigning to that the another variable. And third option which we're trying to understand this is as a parameter or argument which have been passed while invoking the script. Yes, that's how do we read that variable. So that is with $1, $2 as a position based arguments, and we can assign to the variable value. And how do we execute the command and command output? How do we stream to the another variable? Yes, that is this is also important, which we are trying to understand it. Yes, executed command output is the command output which we can assign to that as a value to the variable. So how do we execute the command and how do we assign the value that command output to the variable is dollar. Within the parenthesis we can define the command. This is one notation, or we can use it that command which is required to execute it within the single backward quotation we can define it, and we can assign the value to the variable. Yeah, there are the different 4 or 5 approaches which we are trying to understand it, the overall assigning the value to the variables. Yeah, then one more concept which we are trying to understand it, that is about the special variables which are available from shell. So what are the special variables that we are trying to understand is that is the 0 to read that current script which we are executing, that the script file name. Yes, to read it 0 we can use it, and as a position based arguments, that is 1, 2, 3, then we can use it $1, $2, $3. Yeah, that's to read it the particular position, or total number of arguments which are passed while invoking the script if you like to read it dash, and all the arguments in the single yes, as a single string if you like to receive that $asterisk, and each argument as a separate string separate text if you like to read it at the rate of, and if you like to know that's the last executed command the status, yes, question mark, and finally the process ID of the current script which you are executing, that script process ID if you like to know that the dollar. Yeah, but finally, how do we read it? All these variables is dollar. Yeah, $0, $1, $1 to n, dollar asterisk, dollar at the rate of, dollar question mark, dollar exclamatory. There is one more. The last background jobs process ID if you'd like to know. Then we can use it dollar exclamatory also. Yeah, the overall these are the concepts which are trying to understanding that yesterday. The different the variable types, that is the shell variables and custom variables, and as we are understanding that environment variables also we can define it by using that export keyword, export the variable name and value, and once that's a variable has been assigned, then that variable we can read it within the scripts by using the dollar notation. Yeah, so there are the different types of the variables which are trying to understand it from the shell. Is it clear about that? those concepts? Or any queries, questions, please let me know before moving to that the next activity. Please use the chart window and type the clear if you are good with that. Or if you have any queries, just let me know. Yeah, Jay, Ajay, Sushma, Usha. Yeah, any other queries, please? Anyone? Or otherwise confirm that, then I'll go ahead to this next one. And I have started practicing on this, those examples. How many of you started? Please type that, the started. Not yet. In this weekend, we'll start it. Ajay, okay. What about others? Oh, no one, not yet. Sushma, Usha, okay, started, good. What about others? So that's always in silent mode. Okay, good. Let's move into this today's another important concept, that is decision making. Yes, any program which you are going to understand it, this is also one of the important concept. The variables is, so whatever the concepts we were understanding on the variables, yes, if you are going to learn the Python also, you should think it all these possible use cases. How do I use it in the Python? Yeah, any program, they're all the generic concept. It's not only just specific, but we are talking about the syntax point of view applying to the shell scripting. Yeah, next another concept in any programming which we see the studies, decision making. What is the decision making? So it's we can say that's like some condition based statements. Condition based statements. What is a condition statement? Suppose you are reading the files, but before reading the file should be available, right? If the file exists, then go ahead and read the file or write the file. So you need to add that condition. So if the file exists, okay, then do that reading the file. If the file is not there, then skip that activity. Or maybe you need to create a file. Or sometimes we need to check it about it equal operations. So particular, I mean, if that suppose development environment, then we need to do the separate the environment variable setting or variable setting values. Or if it is the staging environment, we need to use it to different values. Or if it is the production environment, we need to use that to different variable values. But how do we know that the current script which you are applying for that, is it a development or is it testing or is it a production? That is okay with the variable values, but you need to test, you need to check it, right? So current environment variable is equal to development. Okay, do these things. If the environment equal to testing, okay, do these things as per the testing point of view. So those kind of the conditions, how do we handle that whenever we are implementing the shell scripting? That is, we can say that decision making. Yeah, if you have those any basic programming understanding, either C, whenever you are learning that, whenever you are studying this in academic, yes, this is a basic concept. Yeah, Unix shell supports conditional statements, which are used to perform different actions based on the different conditions. So here, we'll explain the following two decision-making statements. One is if-else statements, and second one is case exact statements also available, which we can say this in the normal programming language, switch case statements. But what about this if-else, and what is the syntax of this? So normally in the program, how do you write it? The syntax of the program, I mean about this decision making is or conditions. If you are implementing this normal program, first just understand it, general program. So how do we define this in the general program is if, and then we use it some parentheses, and then here we define the condition. So if the condition is true, execute true block statements. So if this condition returns true, then it enters into this block of the statements, and here what all the statements we have defined that will be executed. Else, so that means in case this condition whatever we have defined, this is the false, then here we need to define the false block statements. Yeah, so this is one model. So normally in the program we use it, the curly braces and parenthesis to define the condition. If, okay, this condition is passed, that is true, then execute these statements. Else, that means this is the fail or false, then come to this block and execute this block of the statements. So this is we can say that if else block statement. This is the if and else. If you have the true statements and the false statements, we use it this notation. But I have that's only if, that means true statements. I don't have the false statements. Then what we can do is if statement. So if the condition, if the condition is true, then execute true block statements. Okay, this is the only if statement. We didn't define that any here else statement. That means only we have that one possibility. If it is the true, check it. But if it is a false, I mean, we don't have any activity. Then you can just, I mean, you can use it only if block. But you have the true. If it is a condition is true, you need to do some activity. Or if the condition is false, then you need to do some activity. Then we use it if else block. So another scenario is multiple possible multiple conditions. So what is this like which we can say that if, or we can say this nested if else, nested if else block statements. Nested if else statements. What is the nested if else statements? If condition 1 is true, then execute condition 1 true statements here. Define the condition 1 true statements. Okay, if this condition 1 is true, then that a true, if it is the true, then what is the logic you need to implement it? That you can define it here. The statements or the commands. Else. So that means if this condition one is a failed, but you have, or you need to check it another condition also. Then we can say that else if. Then again the condition 2. If the condition 2 is true, then those statements we define it here. If the condition 1 false, it comes to here. Then again we are checking this one more condition. If this condition is true, then execute this condition 2 related true statements. Or else if. That means again you have that one more condition. Condition 3. So that means condition 1 is false, condition 2 is false. Now it is going to check if the condition 3. If the condition 3 is true, then that true statements we need to define it. So like this, you can define it nested if else block. If block and else again if condition. If this condition is true, okay, it executes this. Or if this is a false, then it comes again to the else block. But else again is a if condition. As this condition will be evaluated, if this is true, then these true statements will be executed. Else this is the false. Else. Then finally you can define that else block. So in case the condition 1 is failed, condition 2 is false, condition 3 is false, then finally this else block statements will be executed. So this one we say that nested if else statements. Is it clear about these points? So only if statement or if else statement or nested if else statements. Have understood this concept? This I'm talking about it is general programming format. So this is a general programming approach. But now we need to use it shell scripting syntax. But how to use it, that shell scripting syntax, that will come back. But I have got these points. Only if block defining or if else block defining or nested if else block defining that. So these are all the possible cases. So whenever we are implementing the conditional statements, maybe you have this only if true block statements or a true and as well as a false statements or multiple conditionals evaluations. Yes, this is the multiple conditions evaluations. So suppose here if I just talk it, you have defined one variable environment is equal to something you have defined development. Then we are checking this. If environment variable is equal to staging, then staging related statements you can define that here. Else if, then environment equals to something, I'm just defining that something here, it is EAD. Then UAT, that environment related statements. Next, environment equal to something development. Then development statements. Development that environment related statements we can define it. Else. Else is nothing but no specific environment. Suppose as per this value of this variable, now which block of the statement it is going to executing that? Which one it is going to printing that?
Third line, else if environment is equal dev, the dev statement.
Yes, here it is going to have it. Dev statements will be executed. Because first it is checking that environment is equal to staging. It is not matched. Okay, it is moving to the else. Then environment equal to UAT. But what do we have the environment variable value? Dev. Dev is equal to UAT? No. It is coming to that else block. Again here the condition. So what is the value of that env? Dev. Now dev equal to dev. Yes, this is the true. Then these statements will be executed. Or if I change it something here, staging. My environment now I'm working for the staging. Then staging related statements will be executed. Or if I specify that environment equal to empty, then it comes to that this else block. Yeah, so this is the approach decision making, the points like if else, like the same thing here also you can define environment equal to you have development and testing. Okay, development equal to this one, else block, other environment, else block statements, or you have only one environment checking that. If that is environment equal to match that to that, then you need to execute it, otherwise no other activity. Then you can use it only if statement or if else statements or nested if else statements. Yes, this is about understanding the conditional statements, how or what is the or how those are helping that in the programming. Now let's try to apply that. How do we define that if else block in the shell scripting? The syntax is different. Concept is universal. The above one, whatever I'm talking, the generic concept of the if else block. Whether you are going to work for the Java or Python or yes, the shell, the concept, conditional statement concept is a generic one. But now in the shell scripting, how do we define the condition based statements? Yeah, so how do we define that if block is? We use it square brackets. So the condition, whatever we are going to define that, the condition we define in the square brackets and the recommended is space. So before writing the condition, after the square brackets, use the space, and then after the condition and again use the space. And here we don't use it the curly braces like that. We don't have that. So in the general Java or even the Python also is not having. Python is in intention based. Yes, the Java, yes, or C program which uses the curly braces. But here, how do we define that the block of the if statement is then if this condition is true, then execute true block statements. That means if this condition is true, then it is going to execute these statements. So how many statements you would like to define? Yes, all the statements you can define. But how do we represent it end of this if statement? Yes, if started here, if condition, and if the condition block statements have been started here. But how do we end up this? There is no curly brace, right? So here we are using curly brace starting here and ending here. That is the meaning of this. This is the if block. This is if else block. This is if else block. This is else block. So we have the starting and ending representations with the square curly braces. But here in the shell scripting, the syntax of this if block ending is fi. So if is a starting section, and fi, that is reverse of that. If, that is fi, that is the end of the if block. So this is the single if statement. So if you have this only if statement, then this is the syntax. But what about if else condition? Are you clear about this syntax notation? The shell script point of view. Are you following, everyone?
Clear.
Yeah, good. Yeah, so this is about only if statement. As we're talking about it, only if statement. But like this if and else, I would like to define how I can define in the shell scripting. What is the syntax format? Yes, if and else, if you would like to define. Yes, if, and then square brackets, then condition, which would like to implement it, and use the spaces. That is it. Some interpreters doesn't accept it. If you are using the base shell, doesn't accept it. So recommended is use the spaces. So before the, after this square brackets, and before this end of this square bracket, use the space. Then if the condition is a true block. So here you can define that true block statements. But if the condition is a false, I need to handle the false statement also. Then use it else directly. Else and else block, that is a false block statements, you can define it. If the condition is a false, what do you want to do that? That's you can define it here. But finally, if a block has to be ended, how do we end this one is fi. So this is for that if and else. Yes, if this condition is true, then execute these block statements. Here one we have statement 1 or statement 2. That is, you can define the number of commands. The sequence of the commands which are required to execute it, you can define it here. In case this condition is false, then it comes to the else block. And here, what are the statements we have defined that will be executed. And finally, this is the end of the if block. Yeah, this is about if and else block statements. How do we define in the shell scripting? Next option is nested if else statements. So in the programming generic program, this is the approach. But in the shell scripting, how do we define it? So just a minute, 1 minute. Yeah, sorry for that. Yeah, so nested if else statements, how do we define it? So here, as we are talking about it, we need to use it else and if statement. If it comes to the else, then again we need to define if a block, one more if block here. Yeah, syntax almost the same. Like if you go for that, if, then square brackets, that's a condition 1. If this is a true, then execute this block of the statements. Condition 1 statements, that is going to executing that. Else if, how do we define that? We define that elif. So that is shortcut notation. Else if, then comes to the condition 2. If the condition 2, then condition 2 statements. Again, if you have this one more else case, you need to handle that. Else if, then else if, then condition 3. So like this, on the basis of the conditions which are required to handle that, you can use it, this syntax notation. Condition, 3 statements. And finally, yes, no more condition, then use it else, block. That is all the above conditions are the false, right? That is a false block. Finally, how do we end up this if statement? Fi. So this is the notation which we use it in the shell scripting nested if else cases. If you like to implement it, yes, this is the notation we use it that. Yeah, this is the only if statement or if else statement and nested if else statements. Is it clear about this point? The shell scripting side also understanding that format or syntax. Okay, good. Now let me show that some examples. Now you should able to understand it. Yes, what it is happening that in that block of the statement. So now if I give that some examples. So with this syntax notation, on the basis of the condition, if the condition is going to become the true or false, if that is a true, which output it is going to give it, and if it is the false, so what is that output that we are going to have it? Yes, now, so let me show those examples and let me take that inputs from all of you. Yeah, so this is about making statements. Now here, if you just understand this block of the statement, what is that output that will be that what is that output that will be having from this script if I run this? You know the variable concepts. Now we just understand that the if else block the syntax is. So let's try to analyze it. I give the 30 seconds of the time. Let's analyze this script up to this. Let's analyze this script and let me know what is the output that we'll be having.
Sometimes you seem to like the bash shell printout will come. Print.
Yes. So this is the output. So what is the first we have defined is variable we have defined. My shell is a variable and we have assigned the bash is the string to this. Then in the if block, and we are reading that variable. We know that how do we read the variable? Yesterday we are understanding. So we are reading that the value of this variable. What is the value that contains a bash? So is it bash equal to bash? Yes, that is true. If this is the true, then this block of the statement is executing. Actually, this is the one statement, but by typo it was two statements. It is there. Yes, you seem to like the bash shell. This straightforward statement. But if I change the value to the something sh, suppose I have defined the value of this my shell variable to sh, then what is the output we will be having from this script?
Then maybe space, nothing will come because there is no false condition.
There is no
False
false.
condition.
Yes. So it is empty. As simple as this, it is going to have it. So it is coming to here and it is checking that sh, but it is not matched. Sh is equal to bash. No, sh is not equal to bash. That is a false. So there is no false block. So it doesn't do anything. Yeah, let me take it this block of the statement and let's try to run it and we'll check that how the interpreter is responding that. So now as we are understanding that, so whenever we are viewing these scripts, we should think like as an interpreter. So we are understanding that, sir, we are learning that the scripting, shell scripting is nothing but shell interpreter, how it has been designed, So that design model, we need to understand it. So here, okay, that is the variable declaration. So whenever you run this program, what is going to happen that what is the interpreter is going to do it? It is going to understand, okay, I need to use the bin bash to execute this command. These commands. Okay, this is a variable. I need to take the value and I need to store it in the memory. My shell is having the value as a bash. Okay, then the if condition is defined here. So here I need to replace dollar variable as whatever I have stored the value, that is a bash. During runtime, I need to replace it here. That is a bash equal to bash. Yes, that is a true. Okay, this is the true. Then execute these statements. Yes, echo command statement. So it is kind of like how do we need to come up that's analyzing that the script is. So how the interpreter is going to do that. So if you're able to think it, then during that debugging times or troubleshooting times, yes, we can analyze it. So what's going to happen that in the script? Yeah, let me take it this block of the code and we run it that. Maybe I need to check it that the system is up and running, Vagrant system. Let me check it quickly. Workspace, batch 48. Okay, system is not ready. So let me start the system. Meanwhile, let's observe that one more example. Now let's go to this ones and analyze it and what is the output that we'll be having that if I run this script.
And seem to like
43
the
line.
bash shell.
43 line, it will be execute.
Yes, 43 line.
43 line. Yeah. So you don't seem to like the bash shell. So yes, so here we have defined the C shell. So the variable, the my shell variable, we have assigned the value as a C shell, and here we are evaluating the condition. So this the during runtime, what it is going to replace it here? CSH. CSH is equal to bash. This is a false. So then it is coming to the else block, and it is going to try to execute this block of the statement. So you don't seem to like the bash shell. Then what about this one? This is the nested if else.
53 line. The echo you seem to the like bash shell is like, sorry, 56 line. 56 line.
Yes, that is the 56th line it is going to export in that. So here we have declared the my shell as a C shell. So first it is checking that CSH is equal to bash. No, this is a false. It's come to here and it is checking that. Again, CSH equal to CSH. Yes, this is the true. Then this block of the statement will be printed. Then remaining will be skipped. So once one condition is entered, one statement is entered, then remaining statements will be ignored. Okay, let's see this executing and analyzing that output.
Sir,
Yeah,
when we are comparing in the condition that calling the variable double quotes is compulsory.
that is optional.
Inverted
It is
option.
like as a text representation point of view, we are using that. That is, yeah, normally text, so how do we define is double quotation. So double quotation representation, this we use it that. If it is numeric or something, then that is optional.
Okay. And assigning operator comparing equal comparison, both are same operator here.
I'll come back
Means
to
in
that.
other languages, assigning operator is equal.
Double equal.
Okay, fine.
Normally we use it double equals here, but the shell scripting string comparison, you can use it equals.
Okay.
See here, if I just use it in the variable declaration space, is it going to accept that? Is it assigning the value? No, right? We are observing that suppose if I use it my shell space equal to space CSH. So that is invalid. So you need to use it without to space if you would like to assign the value. But in the condition, string conditions point of view, yes, here we are using the space and you can use the equals for the comparison. But a numeric point of view, we use the double equals. That is the next time coming to that. First, if you understand these syntaxes of the if-else statements, but how do we implement these conditions? What are the different types of the conditional the operators are available? Equals, double equals, greater than, the greater than or equals. Yes, that is I'm coming back to that.
Okay.
So let me log into the system. .168.33.10. Directly we can use it there itself packed and sh. But anyway, let me use it sh terminal. Next, once we start about AWS, anyway, we try to keep on using this mobile extern. So same point. Okay, so let me use it one of the script. Let me create that is conditions dot sh.
So we are unable to view your screen.
Okay. What about now? Mobile extern, do you see that?
Yep. It's fine. Looking nice.
Okay, good. Yeah, so let me take it the first statement, the first example. Actually, this line is not required. Only one line. Yeah. So what is the output we are expecting? That's here. Yeah, the condition is a true block. That's we are expecting that. Suppose if we edit this, the script, and if I change the value something, bash to that something CSH. Then what we are expecting?
Empty.
Empty value. So nothing. So that condition is a failed, and there is no else block is defined, and there is no output. Yeah, this is the first scenario. Second scenario, let me go to that. So what is the second script that we are trying to understand is if else block. Yeah, this is a if else block. My shell is C shell we have defined, and we are verifying that bash shell. So what we are expecting this? You don't seem to like the bash shell. That means it is verifying this first this statement. If this is not true, then it is coming to the else block. Yeah, you don't seem to like the bash shell. Next, if else block statements which are trying to understand is a nested if else statement. So let me open this script again. Yeah, so here we have defined the C shell, and which is matching to here, and we are expecting that you seem to like the C shell. Yes, you seem to like the CHS shell. Or if I say that here something instead of the bash something like sh, then what's going to have that? Not sorry, not here. So if I define that the variable value as a only sh, what's going to happen here?
You don't seems like this dish.
You don't seem to like the
Like to the jet shell.
yeah, the G shell. So because so sh is not equal to bash, sh is not equal to C shell, sh is not equal to jet shell. Finally, else block. You don't seem to like the actually this is you don't seem to like any shell. You can define it, right? Actually, this is that statement. Anyway, let me run this. Yeah, I don't seem to like the G shell. Yeah, so this is a way of the defining that the conditional statements in shell scripting. The syntax format understanding that. But how do we implement the conditionals? So what are the different, okay, so we see that like string parameters, or we see that integer parameters, or we see that Boolean parameters, directly true or false, or logical AND operators, logical OR operators, or file-based operators. Yes, next.
Arithmetic operator.
Sorry.
No, sir. Like arithmetic operators, sir. Like as we add addition.
Yes. Yes. So next concept, what we should know this is operators. We should know that. So if you'd like to implement that condition, that is equals, I need to use it, or double equals, I need to use it, or the format, I mean, that is the conditions during. So what are the different operators are available is. So that is one separate concept. Now let's move into that. Yeah, this is understanding that the syntaxes. Yeah, the operators are the very, very important. So what are the different operators are available during implementing conditional-based statements? Yeah, shell basic operator, not only shell, if you go to that any programming, these are all the operators. We see that arithmetic operators, yes, relational operators, relational less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or arithmetic, that is add, subtraction, multiplication, division, or equals, or modulus. The Boolean operators, that is a true or false. String operators, that means string is it empty or not, or string length is equal to 0 or not, string equals or string not equals, those kind of some operators on the string level. And file operators, especially in the shell, which we should know, file related operators, because if you are working this any automation scripts working with that file system, you should know that the going to the directories or verifying that the files are there or not, or file is it having the read permission or write permission or executable permissions. First of all, file is it available or not, and which format of the file, is it a binary file or is it ASCII text file format. So all these conditions that we will be having on the file based. Yeah, on the base of operation, the conditions are going to changing that. Yeah, suppose if you try to understand it, especially arithmetic operators, before moving to that all the remaining operators, arithmetic operators, how do we define in the shell scripting? Suppose a plus b, I need to write it, or a minus b, or some arithmetic operator. Suppose if I go to the shell, suppose I'm going to take that a is one variable and I have defined the 10 value, and b variable, another variable, I have taken 20 value. Then if I try to print it, $a plus $b. A value is 10 and B value is 20. If I try to print it, what it is doing? As it is a printing. But my intention over there, it is add A value with the B value. But what it is doing? It is trying to printing as it is that output. That means it is not performing arithmetic operator. It is just doing that the values as it is the printing over here. So what are the values we have assigned? So here, how do we use it in the shell scripting about this kind of operation is, we need to use it expr command. So we need to use it expr. So how do we use it is, here if as we're understanding any command output, if we'd like to stream that, then we need to use it backward single quotation. So within the backward single quotation, so expr is just the command which is available. Then, I mean, this command, why do we use it? To perform arithmetic operators. Then you can pass it $a plus $b. Now what is the value we got it? Yes, that is a 30 which we got it at. So first it is executing this command And that command output, it is going to give it to that echo, and echo is printing the 30. So that is the backward single quotation, as we were talking that yesterday. If you would like to use it, the command execution and executed command output, if you would like to use it, yes, use it. Either the parenthesis, we can use it, or you can use it the backward single quotation. But arithmetic operators, a plus b or a minus b, if you like to perform these kind of operations, suppose now let me go for a minus b. So what is the value? Minus 10. Good. Multiplication. Multiplication, how do I do that? Suppose if I directly use that asterisk like this, it is throwing error. Multiplication point of view, if I am performing that arithmetic operator, asterisk is for multiplication, but it is not recognizing that unexpected argument. So syntax error, it is saying that. Why it is syntax error? So asterisk, normally, if you just remember that in the wildcard characters we are using asterisk, right? Suppose if I would like to print it all the text files or .sh files in this current directory, yes, we are using asterisk. File name, that could be any name. So it is going to return that files which are having the extension .sh. So this is the special character. So the shell is the using this asterisk for the wildcard character representation. That is a special character. But with that special character, we are using for the arithmetic operation, that is multiplication purpose. So you cannot use it like this. So any special variables of the shell or special characters of the shell, if you are going to use it, we need to use it escape character. So what is I am instructing to the interpreter is, so don't consider that asterisk as a special argument here. So use this asterisk for my arithmetic operation. That means this is the escape character. This is escape character. If I run this, yes, now we got it at the 200 output. 10 into a value, what is the value? 10, b value is 20. Are you getting these points? So how do you perform that arithmetic operators in the Linux? The same thing, if you like to do that in shell scripting, yes, you need to use this notation. This is important. expr is the command which you need to use it. Or we have that like one more utility, basic calculator. Suppose here if I use it, what's happening that directly it is a printing, right? So we have the BC is one more utility. By default, BC is not available, command not found. BC that stands for basic calculator. Let me go ahead and install the BC package. This is the one arithmetic package which we can install it, and we can use it to this BC for the basic calculator operations. Normally basic operations you can use it with expr itself, but some cases, yes, some scripts point of view, yes, which we see the BC keyword. But if you see the BC keyword in the scripts, then think about that is a basic calculator. Now this command output we can pass to the BC. Then BC is going to take it 10 plus 20 and it is going to return the result of it. Are you clear about this point? Arithmetic operators?
Sir, clear.
Yeah, good. Let me show that's how do we use this BC. So now I'm able to run the BC command. Yes, I'm able to run the BC command on this system. But how do I use it? Suppose here the 10 plus 20 it is giving that. Then what I need to give this is I need to pass this one to the BC command. This command output. So whatever it we are getting the 10 plus 20. I'm going to pass to the BC command. Now BC is going to perform that calculator operation. So like that, if you like to do that asterisk. Yeah, it is giving that syntax error. Yeah, the 200. So here we didn't use it EXPR. You can use it EXPR also. EXPR or another utility, but that is by default not available. You need to install the BC utility. Is it clear about this point? Understanding on the arithmetic operator. Suppose if you like to perform that division, yes, you can use it. Division operation. Then 10 divided by 20. That is obviously 0, right? Or if you change this output, B and A, then that is 2. 20 divided by 10. And we use it one more, the special character, modulus also. What is the usage of this one? Anyone can tell me that? Maybe if you have this other programming knowledge, then we know this. Modulus.
Remainder value.
Yes. So it is going to return that remainder value. What is the remainder value? That's why have the 0. Yeah, like this, there are all the important arithmetic operators which are available and which we can use it either EXPR command or BC utility. That is a basic calculator.
Sir wants to show the package install statement.
Yeah, that is
Calculator.
M install BC. Package name is BC. We know that like how do we install the packages, which we are understanding.
Okay.
How do we install the packages? M install.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, package name is BC. Directly use the BC.
Okay.
And confirmation, that is -y, and sudo is permission. Yeah, so that's about arithmetic operators. So if you go to the arithmetic operators, you see that all these options. Yeah, EXPR, echo, EXPR, we can use it within that backward single quotation. Yeah, so here assume variable A holds 10 and variable B holds 20. Yes, just we are observing this all the examples. Then plus operator, that is, this is a syntax notation, EXPR $A plus $B minus asterisk, but asterisk directly you should not give it within the expression. You need to use it escape character, because normally asterisk is a wild character in the Linux. But if you are using the general purpose, then you need to use it backward slash. Then the division we are understanding. Then modulus operator, which is going to return the remainder. Yeah, division divides left hand operand by right hand operand. That is normal, the arithmetic operation. And as we know that assignment, assigning the value to the variable, already we are using the equals. Assignment, assign the right operand value to the a variable, left operand. So they always say that operands, left operand, right operand with equals. So here there is no space. What is the meaning of that? This is the assignment. Yes, it is going to assign the value of B into A. And in the arithmetic operators, equality, how do we do that? Suppose now A equal to B. How do I check it? So we need to use it double equals here. Double equals $A double equals $B. And another one is not equality. So this is going to have the compares two numbers. So $A is not equal to $B. Is it a true or false? A equal to 10, B equal to 20. $A is not equal to $B. Is it true or false?
True, true.
Yeah, true. So $A is a 10. 10 is not equal to $B 20. Yes, 10 is not equal to 20. Yes, that is true. But this case, 10 is equal to 20. Is it true? That is false.
False.
Yeah, so these are all some operators which are available from the arithmetic point of view. Is it clear about that arithmetic operators? How do we execute it? Normally, these first 5 or 6 operators, we use it to perform arithmetic calculations. But in the condition based, whenever we are implementing, we use it double equals or not equals. These are condition based statements. During implementation, we use it double equals or not equals. Remaining all are arithmetic operations. And this is assignment. Yes, the variable value assigning to that another variable. This is the assignment. But normally, if else condition, whenever we are writing that, if I'm having that some numeric values, $A, $B in this context, both are equals or not equals. If I'd like to check it, I can use it these two types of operators from the arithmetic. Yeah, let me show this one example for this. Please mute the mic. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so third script, this is the operator's point of view. Yes. Now, can you tell me that's answer? Can you analyze this script? Already we have worked, but just let me know quickly. Type this in the chat window. Take the 30 seconds. Because at least you should able to understand the scripts and analyzing that existing scripts. You need to come to that level. But if you start writing the scripts, then you will become that writing the scripts. But at least the main objective is whenever we are browsing in the Google, and if you see some shell script, how you are understanding the script and how you are analyzing the script is at least which we should know that. Yeah, 30 minus 10. Yes, 200. And then 2 and then 0. Yes, good. Yeah, 30 minus 10, 200, 2 and 0. Yes, good.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Yeah, please.
Sir, here echo statement A plus B colon is there. That is equal to.
No. This is just output format. Output format.
Okay.
Within the echo, we are.
Okay. Now understood. Okay.
Just a format.
There is no expression in this format, right?
Yeah, this is not the expression. This is just echo command output. So a plus b
Like
colon,
equal to a plus, yeah.
yeah, that is normally
Got it,
equals
sir.
to. Yeah,
Understood.
fine. Let me execute it and let's see this output. Already we have executed, but that is in the command line based. I was showing that to understand all those operations. Now let me take it one script, arithmetic. Just I'm creating that arithmetic. Yeah, so this is a format of it. This format to get it. So here is in the colon. A plus B, yes, that is a 30. And A minus B, minus 10, 200, 2, and 0. Yes, we are good. So that's about some important arithmetic operators, and use that EXPR to perform that arithmetic operator. Directly you cannot run that arithmetic operators. You need to use the EXPR or explicit utility, that is a PC, that is a basic calculator package is available. You can install it and you can perform the arithmetic operators. Yeah, that is a conclusion on the arithmetic operators. Are you clear about this? Next one is relational operators. The name itself is saying that relational. A is the smaller than to the B or bigger than to the B, that is less than, greater than, or less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. These kind of operators, right? Or operations. But what are the different symbols that we use it? Yeah, so here also let's try to understand it. A holds the value as a 10. That means A equal to 10 and B equal to 20. Yeah, if you like to check it, equality, A is equal to B or not. We can use a double equals also, no issues from the arithmetic operator. But relational operator point of view, one more argument which you can use it, hyphen EQ. Yeah, what is the example of how do we use it is $A, that is a 10, space hyphen EQ equals space $B. $B value is 20. 10 is equal to 20. That is not true. Yeah, double equals you can use it. That is also fine, no issues from the arithmetic section. But relational point of view, what is the statement we can use it for the two operands to check it is. So this one we say the left operand and this one we say the right operand. So these two operand with the operator. Operator is the middle one. Yeah, equals. Yes, hyphen EQ. Not equals. There in the arithmetic operator, not equals. How do we use it? Exclamatory equals to that. This represent not equals in the arithmetic operators point of view, or you can use it NE in the relational operators. NE not equals. A equal to 10, 10 is not equal to 20. Yes, that is a true. This statement is going to become that true. True statements will be executed. And greater than. Is a true or statement? True or false? So greater than, how do we use it normally in the program? The greater than symbol we use it. But GT. This is a false, right? 10 is greater than 20. That is not true. And less than. 10 is less than 20. Yes, that is true. And greater than or equals to GE. That is also not true. less than or equal to. This is the true. So these are all like a relational operator they have given instead of the symbols, and it has been given that with the characters. Hyphen EQ, not equals, greater than, less than, greater than or equals, less than or equals. So these are all like operators from the relational. I got these points? Yeah, now A equal to 10 and B equal to 20. So here what is our output that we'll be having? Can you give me that?
Not equal to B. 34th line.
34th line. A is not equal to B. Yes. So 10 equals to 20. That is false. It's coming to the else statement. And so this is A is not equal to B is showing that. Okay. What about the next one? This one?
41 line.
E9.
A is not equal. NE for not equals, right?
Yeah, no, 40. This
41. A is equal to B.
condition is true. So it should 39th line it's
Yes. 39 times it is going to printing that. A is not equal to B. That means 10 not equal to 20. That is true. Then whenever it comes to the true, it is going to exclude this block of the statement. So here, this is not equals. So this is equals. Both are not equals. And here it is coming to the else block. And this is not equals. Yes, that is true. And it is coming to this block of the statement. That is the 39th line. Okay. What about this one? Is it true statement or false statement?
48 line. False
48.
statement.
48 line.
48 line.
Yeah, A is greater than, that is 10 greater than 20? No,
It is false.
that is false. It's coming to the false statement. A is not greater than B. Good. What about this statement?
A is less than
53. 53.
Is it true statement or false statement?
True statement.
statement.
That's like a 10 less than 20. That's, I mean, think it, that is what is the A value? Okay, 10. B value, that is 20. If you are able to remember that values, then with the operator, then we can understand it. Okay, 10 less than 20. Yes, 10 less than 20. That is a true. Then A is less than B. That is a statement. It is going to printing that. So this way, you need to just think it and replace the value of the variables during runtime. Yeah, what about this statement?
62
A is
line.
not greater than or equal to B.
62 line. Correct.
No,
Perfect.
it returns false. So 62 line.
Yeah, that is a false statement. The A value 10. 10 greater than or equal to 20? No, 10 is not greater than or equal to 20. Then it is comes to the false. False, what is that? Yeah, A is not greater than or equal to B. Yeah, so that's the way that just you need to think it the program.
Condition
A is
true.
less than or equals to B.
67. Condition is true. Yeah.
Yeah,
The A
so
is less
this
than
is
or
the
equal.
true statement. 10 less than or equal to 20. Yes, 10 is less than or equal to 20. That is a true. Then true statement will be executed. That is A is less than or equal to B. That's echo command we have used here. Or if you'd like to use it some statements, yes, you can define the statements. But understanding that, so whether it is become the true or false and operators understanding, and values replacing during runtime. So what exactly the A value, B value. So if you are able to, that's why we say that memory, it is going to keep that the value of that variable in the memory. Yes, you also need to keep that whenever you are analyzing that, what is the A value, what is the B value, you need to keep this in the mind, and you should replace in that statement. Then we can become very good debugger of the program. Okay, so let me take it this. I hope so you can run this, but yeah, anyway, let me run it and let me show that output quickly. I'm going to use it the same script. Let me delete the content of this. So whenever we move to the actual scripts, by that time, so if the statement contains all these things, yes, we should be able to understand it. The actual original scripts. Yes, 1,000 lines of the script also start with the first single line. So that is shebang line. Yes, so if you are able to understand from one by one, then yes, it's good. Yeah, so just observe that output is 10 is equal to 20. I mean, that is, you can analyze it in the labs whenever you are practicing. Yes, whatever we are observing. So this is A is not equal to B, yes. And this is the true statement was executed because the not equals, yes, that is a true statement was executed. Greater than, this is a false statement has been executed. And less than, this is the true statement has been executed. And this is a greater than or equal to, that is a false statement has been executed, and this is the true statement has been executed. You can just compare with the program and this output. Yeah, that is about relational operators. Yes, main characters, the use it, I mean understand it. Hyphen EQ, hyphen NE, hyphen GT, hyphen GE, hyphen LT, less than or equal to LE. Are you clear about this relational operators? Good. Yes. The next, Boolean operators. Any program, if you're working that, they're all the basic things. So why I'm concentrating more time on the shell scripting is tomorrow, whenever you are learning the Python, also the same points, but Python syntax is different. Concepts are the universal. So once if you know that one programming or one scripting, learning that other scripting is maybe the syntax notations wise you need to consider something, but concepts are the universal. There also you'll be having arithmetic operators or the relational operators or Boolean operators. But there the symbols are the different, and here the symbols are the different. And if condition syntax is different, and there if condition syntax is different. Yeah, the Boolean operators. The Boolean operators mainly, which we remember, the true and false, right? True or false. These two will say that Boolean operators. Yeah, so assume variable A holds 10 and variable B holds 20. That means A equal to 10 and B equal to 20. Then the Boolean operators. So here are some logical Boolean operators also have been explained. Yeah, normally true or false, which will represent. So there are some important operators. Just try to understand it. What is this notation? Not. So this is exclamatory in the conditional statements. If you see that's exclamatory, that represents not Yeah, this is the logical negation, negative. This inverts a true condition into a false or false condition into a true. The reverse of it that. Suppose if I define this in the conditional statement, exclamatory space false, then what it is going to become this one? So this is going to become that as a true. Inverse of that false, that is a true. Yeah, sometimes we will get that some output, but reverse of that output, that's we need to evaluate it. So condition, if it returns a true, I need to apply that the false evaluation. Or if it is written the false, I need to apply the true. Then we can use it not simple. That is exclamatory. And another operator which we have this is -o and -a. These are all we can say the logical or, logical and. But what about these logical and logical or operators? So this is something which we should know that about that logical and logical or operators. Remaining so far which we discussed are all the straightforward. Equals or not equals, or greater than or less than, or plus or minus, or division or asterisk, or a double equals or a single equals. So they're all the straightforward, the notations or operators. But logical and logical or, these two are something which we should know that. They're very, very important. Especially first one, if you try to understand that, the logical and operator. So which represents -a. -a is a symbol for it. Or in some notations, we can use it in some statements. We use it this also. Double ampersand. This is also we say that and operator. -a, normally in the conditions which we use it. Conditional based if else if you're defining, or some statements whenever we are defining that. So we use it and double ampersand. So what is the meaning of this logical and? So here logical and we apply that on the two conditions, condition 1 and condition 2. So two conditions we are comparing that. Then final result. So if you apply the condition 1 with -a and with condition 2, then what is the result that we'll be having that? Maybe we know that all these in arithmetic, if you are studying about it like a computer organization, that is CO, somewhere we see this all these the logical and logical or operators if you have the computer's background. Suppose here the point is I have the condition 1 and condition 2, and I'm applying that logical and on these two conditions. Then what is the result I will be having that? Suppose if the condition 1 is true, if the condition 1 is true, then condition 2 is also true. Let's assume that. Yes, both are the true. Then what is the result we'll be having in the and?
True.
Yeah, if both are the true, if this condition 1 is true and condition 2 is true, then the result is true. That means entire condition, that if condition block is true. We are not applying here on the single condition. Here we are applying on the two conditions. But first understand logical and then we'll see there's examples. Suppose condition 1 is true and condition 2 in that statement is a false, then what is the result?
False.
Yeah, the result will be the false. Suppose condition 1 is false, that has become the false, and condition 2 is true, then what is the result?
False.
False.
Yes, that is a false. And finally, condition 1 is the false, and condition 2 is also the false, then what is the result that we'll be having is false. Yeah, so when the condition is going to become the true, if we use it, logical AND operator is either -a or ampersand. If both conditions are the true, then only that entire condition is true. Remaining all the cases, that is a false. Simple to remember it. And condition 1 and condition 2 both are true, then finally that entire condition is true. If I define this one in the if block statement like this, then this condition 1 should be true and condition 2 should be true, then entire my if block is if condition is true. In the remaining all the cases, that is going to become the false. That means it is going to execute the else block. So this is about logical AND. We represent either -a or we represent with a double ampersand. Is it clear about that logical AND? Next, logical OR. So what is the logical OR? Suppose here also, which we need to apply this on the condition 1. And OR, how do we define this is, either we can use it that -o or another notation which we use it, 2 pipeline symbols. Either -o we can use it, that is OR, logical OR, or we can use it double pipeline symbol. If the condition 1 or condition 2, then the statement itself is see that's like condition 1 or condition 2. Then what is the result we'll be having that? Suppose if the condition 1 is true and condition 2 is also true, then what is the value?
True.
That is true. Or if the condition 1 is true and condition 2 is false, then what is that result?
True.
True.
It is true.
That is true. Suppose condition 1 is false and condition 2 is true,
True.
then
True.
yeah, then also it is true.
True.
If the
Only false,
condition
false.
1 is false and condition 2 is false, then finally the result is also
False.
false. Yeah, this is the OR operator. The name, I mean, the statement, if you just read it, condition 1 or condition 2. Either one of that is true, then or both are the true or either one of the true, then it is going to become the true. Either condition 1 true or condition 2 is true, doesn't matter that. Either one of the condition in that block either one of the condition is true, then this entire if condition is going to become the true. If both are the false, then only the false. That means else statement is going to executing that. And here the reverse way. If both are the true, then that is a true. Remaining all the cases, that is a false. Yeah, so this is about logical and logical or understanding. And if you go back to this, yes, -o. Yeah, what about this statement here? $A less than 20. Is it true or false? 10 less than 20. That is true. R is nothing but what is the need of the check in the second one? Obviously, these are true, right? Yes or no? Suppose if my first condition is true, then I don't need to check the second condition.
Correct.
Because once this is true, obviously this statement, whether it is true or false, doesn't matter for me. This statement is going to become the true. This is the R. Suppose, let's understand the and. A is less than 20. That is 10 is less than 20. That is true. Okay, this is the true. I need to go and check it. The second one also. What is that? $B. B is 20.
False.
20 greater than 100? No, that is a false. This is true and this is the false. This entire statement is going to become the false. So here one more observation, just if you observe that. If this is a true, I don't need to check the second condition. Anyway, obviously that is going to become the true. If this is the false, then I need to check the second condition. If the second condition is true, then my statement will be true. Or if the second statement is a false, then my statement will be false. That is our base. If the first condition is true, then don't check the second one. Why do you want to waste the time? But in the AND operation, suppose if this is the false, first one is a false, is it required to check the second one? Second condition is required to evaluate this? Not
Yes.
required.
Oh, sorry.
Not required, right? Anyway, this is the false. Whenever the first statement is false, the second one is a true or false, then it is going to become the false. Yeah, so we need to think it in the interpreter, the way. So interpreter, how it is designed, if we define the statements like this, with the OR and AND operators, logical AND and logical OR. If the first statement is true, in this case, it is not going to execute the second one. But in this case, first statement is a false, it is not going to execute the second one. If in this case, if the first one is a false, then second one will be evaluated. In this case, first one is true, then second one will be evaluated. Are you clear about these points? Very, very important. Yeah, so let's go to the quickly Boolean operators to evaluate it. So what's going to happen this one? A equal to 10 and B equal to 20. Replace it and let me know that.
Condition is true. So it
80
is
line.
going to execute 80.
Yeah, so condition is true statement. $A, that is a 10 is not equal to 20. Yes, that's correct. That is true. Then A is not equal to B is going to printing that. What about this one?
Condition is true. 10 is less than 100, greater than 15. So it is going to execute 87 line.
Yeah, this condition is true statement. Why it is? A is less than 100. Obviously, 10 is less than 100. That is a true. Yeah, if it is a true, then here which operator has been used? And we need to check the second one also. So $B, that is a 20. 20 is greater than 15. Yes, that is correct. So true under true. Then obviously this is going to become the true. Then the true statement will be executed. And okay, next evaluate this one. Interacted, I mean, just analyze it and observe that.
10 is less than 100 or 20 greater than 100. So first condition is true, second condition is false, but operator is OR,
96.
so it is true. 94th line.
94 or 96? 10
True
is
or
less.
false, no, sir? True.
Yeah, that is a true statement.
True
Yeah,
statement.
so $8 10 less than 100. 10 less than 100, yes, that is a true. And which operator it is used here? OR operator.
94. Yep.
Then we don't need to check it this one. Direct you can go to the true statement. So obviously one statement is true, then you don't need to check the second one. Doesn't matter for the second one. Then obviously it is going to become the true statement. As we know that OR, one of the statement is true, then that is going to become the true. Yeah, what about this one?
It also returns true, sir.
Is it written true or false?
True. False, sir. 10 is less than 5, false, or 20 greater than 100.
False.
These are false. False are
Yeah, that is a false
false
statement.
means
Yes, 10
false.
less than
So
5.
103 line.
10 less than 5. 10 less than 5? No, that is wrong. Then go to here. Okay, this is our statement. If it is a false, then we need to check the second one also. Then 20 greater than 100. No, that is also false and false. Yes, it returns the false. Then false statement will be executed. Yeah, try to run the scripts and execute it and evaluate it. And I'm going to stop it until this one. 3 types of the operators we understood. That is arithmetic operators, relational operators, and Boolean operators. Especially Boolean operators, logical and logical or and negative. That is exclamatory. Not operator, we'll call it that. And arithmetic and relational operator, -IQ, -NE, -GT, -GE, -LE, LE, LT. Yeah, these are all relational operators. And arithmetic operators, there's plus, minus, asterisk, division, modulus, double equals, or not equals. Yeah, so far that is a concept, and tomorrow we will talk it 2 more operators, that is a string operator and file operators. So try to practice it, start working on it, and yeah, string operators and file test operators. And we have this another one, case and exec statement, another type of that the model, that is conditional statements. We'll come back to that. Yeah, is it clear for today? So all these concepts. Please quickly type that in the chat window, clear. Or if you have any queries, everyone, so please be actively participated. Yeah, 3 or 4 members are active, but what about others? Yeah, Sushma, Usha, Ajay, Shiva. Okay, good. Anyone else? Are you able to follow it? Or any, the confusions? If you have the confusion, once the video is available, just go ahead once again and review about it. And I shared that already exercises that link, and open it and try to type it and run the scripts. The more you type it and work with that, then you will get that more confidence. But as a time constraint, I'm just using the copying the scripts. but I'm giving the time to you to analyze it, the scripts. Yeah, if you are come up with this kind of analytical skills, then once you join to the project, and if the project contains already existing scripts, easily we can understand it. Yeah, so that's all from my side for today, and we'll meet tomorrow, and we'll continue. Thank you all.